This weekend marks 2 years since Russia launched its unprovoked, full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Today, in an interview with NBC News chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky issued this warning about the aid he needs from the United States.
What happens to your country if this American aid doesn't arrive?
We will lose a lot of people. We will lose territories. The United States focused also on interior questions, political questions, this tough period, election period. And that's why it's a little bit slow. But the answer is, if to give us strong package, we will lose less people and we will win.
It's a terrifying scenario since Republicans in Congress continue to block critical aid to Ukraine. So far, President Zelensky says Ukraine has lost 31,000 soldiers, and the delay in U.S. aid has already led to major battlefield setbacks, including Ukraine's recent decision to withdraw from the southern city of Avdiivka, a loss that the Biden administration has directly attributed to, quote, congressional inaction. In the meantime, alternative solutions are being considered. One strategy includes sending the estimated $300 billion in frozen Russian assets being held in the West. Joining me now, Admiral James Stavridis, MSNBC Chief International Security and Diplomacy Analyst, former Supreme Allied Commander at NATO, and author of To Risk It All, 9 Conflicts and the Crucible of Decision. Admiral Stavridis, as always, thank you for coming to the Sunday show. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, just within the last hour, sent a letter to his colleagues about the looming government shutdown, focusing on the stall aid to Ukraine. He even called on Speaker Johnson to go to Ukraine and see the horrors of war himself. How urgent is it for lawmakers to take action on this issue right now?
It is absolutely critical. And the irony of the situation, Jonathan, is that there are strong majorities in both houses of our Congress, Senate and the House of Representatives, who support this aid. It's being held hostage on the Republican side in the House of Representatives because a small number of Republicans don't believe in this. And it's a position that just doesn't make sense. Here is an opportunity to spend $60 billion, which is a fraction of the overall U.S. defense budget, which is almost $900 billion. Spend $60 billion, don't put a single soldier in harm's way. Europeans have already contributed $60 billion to this, effectively would be matching them. And all of it would go toward breaking the phalanx of Vladimir Putin's army. That's the best return on investment for U.S. defense spending I can think of. Mm-hmm.
There have been alternative solutions floated about ways to help Ukraine. One is to hand over the Russian assets that are frozen. What other options are there if Congress does not find the money?
First, I do want to just draw a line under that $300 billion. It's actually a bit higher than that. It could certainly go toward the cause of Ukraine, and deservedly so. They were invaded without a single moral or ethical or legal reason. So that money, by rights, in my view, ought to be supporting Ukraine in this very legitimate fight. Secondly, the Europeans do have additional capacity. If this gets into a situation where the U.S. continues to be incapable of doing the right thing, our European allies, I am absolutely convinced, will step up even further. And then third and finally, the Ukrainians themselves have developed a fairly capable, localized arms production system, notably for drones, other high-tech aspects. They can hold on for some number of months, Jonathan. Boy, let's not put them in that situation.
Admiral, let me get you on a couple of other alternatives that I've seen reported. One was in the New York Times, just sort of buried in a story last weekend about the possibility of Germany. This was being discussed in Munich. The possibility of Germany buying American arms and then in other European countries and then sending them to Ukraine. Is that a viable option?
I think it is. And oh, by the way, for the Congress, every dollar that you allocate to go toward Ukraine, almost all of it is spent here in the United States of America. It's spent buying U.S. weapon systems. So the proposal you're floating, Jonathan, is a smart one, which is get the Europeans to do that part of it. And that, I think, is quite palatable. I'll give you another idea, and it's taken a page from history. It's when FDR faced a similar situation before World War II really got started. He used the Lend-Lease program, providing former used, if you will, military systems. President could do that on his authority and transfer those to Ukraine. So yes, there are some creative ways around this, but can we just please do the right thing and get the money in the hands of the Ukrainians?
Mm-hmm. And let me, in the minute we have left, one thing that I am wondering, at the beginning of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, individual Americans volunteered. They went over and fought in Ukraine. Can they do anything as private citizens to help get military aid there? Could a private citizen buy a bunch of bullets and send them over to Ukraine?
I think buying the bullets would be hard, but why not a GoFundMe page led by someone like our colleague at MSNBC, Senior Chief Nance, who has been in the fight over there? Wonderful person. And why not do that? Donald Trump has raised over millions of dollars on a GoFundMe page. I'd say this is a very just cause.
That actually, a GoFundMe page is an excellent idea. Someone get on that. Admiral James Stavridis, thank you very much, as always, for coming to the Sunday Show.